This is on, and I'm Oliver Nixon. CES 2019 is up and running. What does this mean? It's gonna be an interesting time with a lot of new technologies coming forth and new CPUs, new GPUs, a lot of new stuff. So I'm excited, guys. I'm excited. It's gonna be fun to see what's been released and what's coming up. What's interesting is gonna be the AMD, what the AMD camp does with their new GPUs. That's gonna be. I'm excited about that actually, because I think it's about time that AMD stepped up his game. They did so with Ryzen series. I mean, the performance they deliver for the price, it's Intel has nothing in comparison to it. I mean, it's not even close for money, what you get for your money, that is. So I'm excited. I'm looking forward to what AMD has up their sleeve, to say the least. With that being said, Nvidia had their presentation last night, and it was quite good actually. There were a few surprises, I might add, but there were some things that were pretty predicted beforehand. The big announcement is of course RTX 2060. It's the newest RTX card being released by Nvidia, and it's gonna have a price tag of $349. They had some game tests as well, where they tried Battlefield 5 at 4040p and 60 frames per second with ray tracing and DLS enabled at the same time, so you can get that performance increase. But I've seen some tests from some YouTubers and some Swedish reviewing sites, and that 60 frames per second is not on ultra, I would say. It's on medium or high at best, and the RTX setting was set to low apparently to gain that 60 frames per second. With that being said though, I think it looks quite good actually. I saw the live view they did on the presentation. It looked great, to be honest, but you will have to see in time what they how they perform in other games. The 60 series has always been their most used graphic card series ever, because they're relatively cheap and people always buy, what they can afford. So I believe that this is going to be a pretty popular card, and I think a lot of people are going to buy them as well. Though I've seen some rumors that the 1160 cards that doesn't use RTX or ray tracing have been rumored as well, so we'll see if they announce something similar down the line, or if that was just a rumor. So I'm not going to go into any further. If you want to read up on that, this is not for you. What I'm looking into is Nvidia's new view on adaptive sync. What that means exactly is that in general, or most of the time anyways, AMD and Nvidia have been using their respective adaptive sync technologies, and you both know them as AMD's FreeSync and Nvidia's G-Sync. The screen and GPU works in unison, so you don't get screen tearing, which have been a problem even if you had a 144Hz screen. The problem, as I see it anyways, is that you lock out. If you have a certain GPU, you can't use your AMD card to run it on a G-Sync monitor, and vice versa. So what that in practice means that if you buy a Nvidia card, the only screens you can buy has to be G-Sync screens if you want that adaptive sync technology. But what Nvidia has done here is that they have scoured the market for every adaptive sync screen they could find, and they have tested them to see how well do they perform. And in their testing, they have found 12 screens that meet their requirements, thus getting Nvidia certified G-Sync via software. So this is an interesting development, to say the least, because this means if you have a AMD FreeSync or have any of the screens that they showed on the presentation, you're gonna have G-Sync possibilities via software. But what caught my eye, or what I heard anyways, was this, that the CEO told us that they were gonna allow the rest of the adaptive sync screens to have G-Sync as well, but not, at least so you could activate it on your software, but not in a way that they would support it and, you know, give it their certified quality mark of, you know, that you get what you have been known to get when you have G-Sync support. And that goes, and to me that's a quite big development, because they've been locked down in their respective corners, both AMD and Nvidia. And if this is true, and I mean, then that could mean if you sat on any AMD FreeSync screen, you could activate G-Sync with varying results, of course, and you know, you don't have the Nvidia's stamp of approval. It's going to be interesting to see how many of the screens that's not supported by Nvidia that, you know, work great with this G-Sync software solution. And I'm looking forward to seeing tests online and stuff like that. Maybe I'll try it out myself. I don't know yet, but we'll see. The third development, to me at least, was that they are now adding a feature to the RTX cards that's called OBS Pro Quality Grade Streaming Thingamajig. It's not called that, but something along those lines. It gives the possibility of giving is that you can now have pro quality streaming on a single PC setup. And that's, of course, has been done before by AMD releasing Ryzen, and the Ryzen series is quite powerful streaming CPUs because of their many cores and threads. But now you can actually use your GPU to stream comparatively at the same quality. Of course, this isn't known. We haven't seen any tests or anything like that. So that's going to be, an interesting thing to see. How well does it work in practice? Because Nvidia, as you probably know, already have streaming capabilities with their GPUs, and they do work. I use it personally because my CPU isn't up to par to stream with the CPU encoding. So I've been using it, and it works quite decently. I mean, it gets the job done. You can see me and you can see the gameplay relatively well. But the problem has always been that the quality is not up to par. So what they hope to fix with this OBS add-on, or whatever you want to call it, is that you're gonna now have the capability, at least with RTX cards, to have high quality streaming. What I'm looking forward to is the AMD presentation this Wednesday. We know they've released several new mobile CPUs, and it's going to be interesting to see if they release their new GPUs. And that's going to be, there's been some rumors online and on some YouTube channels as well, that they're going to release these super cheap new GPUs that outperforms RTX 2070 and stuff like that. So that's, how much truth is it to it, and are the prices correct? We don't know. But hopefully we will know some more information this Wednesday. That's all for me, guys. Take care and see you the next time.